Alright, let's have a talk. We're not going to be sitting in a stuffy classroom with unreadable charts. Instead, let's talk about something that can turn a regular day on the rig into the worst day of your life. Fire. I've been on enough job sites to know this work is tough, demanding, dirty, absolutely essential. It also comes with serious risks. Fire is at the top of that list. Not a small trash flame, the kind of event that changes everything in the blink of an eye. We'll break it down. Simple, straight, no fluff. Why does this matter? Because your safety isn't a handbook line. It's about going home to your family after your shift. You're surrounded by things that love to burn. Hydrocarbons, flammable gases, high-pressure systems, a literal powder keg, a tiny spark, a moment of inattention, faulty equipment. Any can lead to catastrophe. First things first, you can't fight an enemy you can't see. Let's identify the usual suspects. Common fire hazards on an oil and gas site. At the top of the list, flammable materials, crude oil, natural gas, refined fuels, various chemicals. They're the industry's lifeblood, and highly volatile. A small leak from a pipe, a loose valve, a spill during transfer. It's the invisible danger you must respect. Next, ignition sources. These are the sparks that start fires. Welding, cutting, faulty electrical tools, static discharge from clothing, heat from a running engine or an overheated bearing, a dropped tool. Think of every action and every tool as a potential ignition source. Another major hazard, high-pressure systems plus high temperatures, compressors, pumps, pipelines. Mechanical failure can release hydrocarbons at high pressure that can atomize into a fine, highly flammable mist. Add high machinery temps and you risk a jet fire. This isn't a slow burn, it's explosive. Prevention is always better than a cure. So let's talk about your playbook for stopping fires before they start. The first step is good housekeeping. A clean and organized worksite is a safe worksite. Keeping pathways clear. Cleaning up spills of oil or other fluids immediately. Properly disposing of oily rags and combustible waste in designated metal containers. A pile of greasy rags left in a corner is a fire waiting for an excuse to happen. Next is controlling ignition sources. This is where procedures like the hot work permit system come into play. Before you do any welding, cutting, grinding, you need that permit. It's not just paper, it's a safety checklist. Flammable materials removed or shielded. Gas detectors are in place. Fire watch assigned. For everyday tasks, use the right tools. Non-sparking tools in hazardous areas. Make sure all electrical equipment is properly rated and in good condition. Never use a frayed cord. Report it and get it replaced. Proper ventilation keeps gas and vapor concentrations below explosive limits. Always check your personal gas monitor before entering hazardous areas. If it alarms, get out. Don't second guess it. Okay, so despite all our best efforts, a fire has started. The alarm is blaring. The absolute first thing you do is raise the alarm. Don't assume someone else has already done it. Hit the nearest manual call point, use your radio, or shout, "Fire, fire, fire," at the top of your lungs. Clearly state the location and nature of the fire if you can. Don't be a silent hero. Be loud and be fast. Your job is not necessarily to fight the fire. If the fire is very small and you are trained, you might be able to put it out. But you must make that decision in a split second. If the fire is growing quickly, involves energized equipment, or is producing thick black smoke, your job is to evacuate. A hero is someone who goes home at the end of the day, not someone who takes unnecessary risks. When you evacuate, you must know your primary and secondary escape routes by heart. Stay low to the ground if there's smoke. The cleaner air is near the floor. Close doors behind you to help contain the fire. Do not use elevators, they can become a death trap. Proceed directly to your designated muster point or assembly area. Stay there for the head count. Report any missing persons. Do not re-enter. Let the trained emergency responders do their work. We've covered the hazards, prevention, and emergency response, but the final piece is the most important. You and your team. Fire safety isn't a checklist you complete. It's a mindset. This starts with teamwork and communication. Look out for your buddy. If you see your partner taking a shortcut or using the wrong tool, don't just ignore it. Speak up. A simple, "Hey man, you probably want to use the brass hammer for that," can prevent a disaster. Safe work habits are built through repetition until they become second nature. Always doing your pre-task safety check. Always wearing your full PPE. And always following the procedure. Complacency is the silent killer on a job site. So stay vigilant. Challenge yourself to find one thing every day that could be made safer. This proactive attitude is the hallmark of a truly safe work culture. This is why we practice. Fire drills might seem disruptive, but they are essential. It's like muscle memory for emergencies. When you practice evacuating, you learn the routes. In the end, it all comes down to a choice. The work you do is hard and honorable. Make the choice to go home safe at the end of every single shift. That's a job well done.